It's trying to catch up now. It was just.
Can you have your earphones? Can you have your earphones?
What?
Have your earphones?
It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be the same thing. Slowly but surely, it is making the transition over. At least it should, and there it is, finally making the transition over. This is what happens once you go live. Unfortunately, certain things should work the way it should, and then sometimes you just end up not working out. So this time we're trying to change out the Wi-Fi here a little bit to make sure things work. But nevertheless, it is episode 154, if I do remember correctly. Fuji's in the house, along with everyone else here at Tampa Joe's. We're planning on having an exciting day today, as we know that the Lions are kicking off the season here against the Birds. The Birds are in Detroit. All the Birds fans are there. And not only that, we got Bird fans here in the house in Tampa, live at Tampa Joe's, as I always say, usually from the house here on Studio A from LG Direct Sales Station Studios. But today, there's live here at Tampa Joe's. There is a lot to get into as the game's underway at 1 o'clock. Of course, we saw the Rams were taken care of by the Bills. We'll get into that a little bit later on. So lots to get into. We hope to do the best we possibly can here with the feed as I try to scroll on over, because Fuji, of course, is going to need a major introduction. So I'm trying to, as best as possible, to swing this on over if I do get it. So give me a second as things are. It's just the way they are when things go live here a little bit, it's just the way it works. So I'm trying to switch out the angle of the view here so I can get this one hype video going before I bring the man, the myth, the legend on himself, as it's slowly coming up. Slowly and scrolling. Here it comes. It's getting there. It's getting there. And nope, this may have yet. So give me a second. I'm looking here at the screen, so I lost my one screen here, but I'm bringing things up. Give me. Is it? Sorry, folks. I'm bringing up here. It's surely my computer, of course, today wants to do the slowest intro ever. Dear God, it's getting there. I swear. One more. It's coming up. Let's see. This should be the intro that I'm looking for. So give me a second as I look away. It's getting there. Nope, that's the guys. All right, it's going to come up here. I'm going to bring Fuji on here as I'm trying to get him fired up. But unfortunately, the one video that I'm looking for here, it's taking forever for it just to come up. So let me scroll back there. And if I can get the video, once I bring Fuji up here, then I'll bring everybody else in a second. This is, see if you miss what happens. Sometimes things go live. It's just the way it works. But anyway, just bring me in. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do something. Let's go, E-A-G-L-E. What's going on? First of all, hallelujah! Game day, Eagles Lions, live from Tampa Joe's. Everybody, Eagles chant. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles. Angel, how the hell are you? Listen, man, I know I should be running through a wall at this point because you got me all kinds of crazy fired up. And by the way, for those who don't know, Fuji last night, he came to town, and I told him all he had to do was tell him that he loved Tom Brady, and that Southwest flight would have came in. And by the way, thanks to Rick Marcus for getting the job done. As you guys can see, that little solo sponsorship here from Southwest. But nevertheless, if you would just said that Tom Brady was your favorite buddy, you would have flown right into Tampa without a problem. So listen, it happens.
Be your T-shirt teammate, TV12.
No,
TV12.
No, not at all. Listen, I don't have it, so I know what you're talking about. Because you were at the house, so you didn't see anything.
Well, I really didn't get a chance to look. It was too late last night to go through that.
That's good.
I'll find it.
Man, you're going to find it. You're right.
I will find it, my man.
Listen, nevertheless, we're going to bring in the entire gang here all at once. If I can, let's see if I can switch things back over. I got so many screens to work with here. So let me see if I can get all the guys on. Give me 1 second. This might be one of those ones where it's like real funny. Give me a second. This might be 2 out of 3 guys here. So I see Sean in there. First one's over there. Matt's going to come up here shortly. Let's see if I can get the rest of the gang here. This, unfortunately, because it is running a little bit sluggish, it'll get there. I may even need to restart my own stuff here. But the guys are coming up. Give me a second. Let's see 2 out of 3. One transition. Let's see if that's coming up. I hear Ryan laughing.
What's up, Sean? You ready? You pumped? Let's go!
Everybody's coming. There's one point where everybody's going to come up. There's Ryan now. I can see almost half the crew. The only one that's missing right now is Matt. That's the only one I don't see. Ryan, long time no see. Our national correspondent is on with us. Of course, Sean, our sports contributor, is on with us here as well. As you guys can see here in the background, with everyone else, we got a good crowd on hand. We still got more people filing in from the outside on the patio. It is huge experience out here at Tampa Joe. So, lots to get into. If I can get the video that I want up here while you guys take things away, I'll bring it up as well. So there's going to be a lot to get into. And of course, now I have my clients who can tell me it's stuff. But that's what I'm going to do. First of all, Ryan, how the hell have you been?
If you came before, welcome back. We're going to have a free raffle today.
Kind of hard to hear you, Angel. It's a little hard to hear you with all the background noise.
Hey, listen, as I'm trying to hear it, it's been a while since the last time we talked to you. How you been?
We also have from West Street South. In the back, we're all the way from Philadelphia, Mr. Fuji. Angel is also here. He did podcast his West Street South. If you haven't checked it out, please do.
I don't know
We
if
also are selling the new t-shirts.
Ryan, I don't know if you can hear me. Of course, you might be doing the introduction scroll here in the background. It's kind of hard. There's a lot going on. And unfortunately, when Mike gets going and we're inside, this wins the topic. So hopefully, if you guys can share it, which I'm not too sure at this point, Ryan, what have you been up to?
Angel, it's a little hard to hear you, but it's great to be with everybody this week. Try not to contain your enthusiasm, my friend.
Hey, talking about you there. But listen, we're hoping to have a good time here today. Someone's on my way. That's Rick. I'm pretty sure it was on my way. Trying to bring the comments up here. Let's go. Everyone, I see everybody starting to get fired up. Kathleen Covers, I see you over there. All the way from Eagles Mania, always representing. I'll bring up the other comments here. But hey, listen, as we get into it, obviously there's a lot that's going on. We know the OC coordinator and our defense coordinator says for Nick Sirianni this year that things are a lot different, that they respect a lot more of what Nick is doing. So getting from your point of view, what do you think as far as what Nick Sirianni has done during the preseason? It doesn't matter wins or losses. What the team looks like here going to game 1 against Detroit.
I say the Eagles come out today. Let's Jared Goff. Let him lay up in Ford Field at the roof. Just knock him down, shut down Swift. The defense is bringing it. They're going to wreck shop. They're going to light up the sack board today. The defense is coming to play. Eagles are taking this game 28-13. Guaranteed. Bet your house, bet your mortgage, whatever.
Well, wait, so you already come out with a prediction. Usually wait to the very end, but now you're so fired up. You're talking about the early prediction.
I can't control myself. I was quiet all day. Now you unleash the beast.
Well, listen, it's okay. We understand it, but listen, more than anything else, obviously we know it's a big deal for the second quarterback. We're going to get it here momentarily, but from the 3 wide receivers, obviously, Vontae Smith, him being on board from last season, we got Dallas Goedert, it seems like he stepped up from last year to this year. So for the Eagles, right now what we have from tight end and wide receiver too, is this enough? And I'm not even going to the playoffs yet, because obviously we have to win the first game before anything else. But with this team right now, let's talk about just going to the midseason. Heading into the midseason, how much do you see the Eagles as far as just maybe record-wise before we're taking before the bye? How about that? 7 weeks we know the bye is coming around. Eagles got a tough road, starting in Detroit. Everybody I think is taking this game just too lightly. For me, you can't take this game that lightly. And I know people are saying that's an easy win.
You got to come out to play. You got to come out, play 4 quarters, and start football. You got to smash this team in the mouth throw.
Well, that's what we all hope. But unfortunately, it's just, listen, as we hope, all of us, we all hope that for whatever crazy reason, obviously everybody's here to come on healthy, walk away from Detroit nice and healthy, and bring it back home. I think when Nick Sirianni, we're going to see probably something different out to what we saw during preseason. We know there was a lot of training camps involved. Both teams, whether it be in Cleveland or whoever else, there was a shared joint camp. What we're hoping for is to see something a lot better than whether it be in the RPO, a different scheme that we saw from last year. Nick Sirianni said this year he was going to be the defense statement as far as the NFL. Now, he never breaks it, coach. We all know it. Very humble about it. But we know that the higher standards is over for this team. The expectation level from Jason Kelsey, from Jordan Davis, and everybody else, it's probably the most that we've seen, dare I say, for the 2017 season. So, going in, looking at this Detroit game right now, what do you think is going to be the biggest takeaway, let's just say, even in the first half of this game?
So you got to get the running game going and get the play out.
I think you play 50-50 ball.
Mix it up. Like I said, Hurts has to get in the rhythm early. These guys, they always come out flat either the beginning of the season or the beginning of the game. They may score out slow, but then you got to get it.
And listen, and Brian, you were saying that 50-50. Why do you believe Brian's a 50-50?
Is that directed toward me,
I
Angel?
think what Fuji said,
sir.
you just got to.
Go ahead, Sean.
I think what Fuji hit on, we're going to be rusty. Just do some 50-50 ball, pass and run, and I'd like to see like an unsung hero like Zach Pascal have a big game for today. And I think Hassan Reddick's going to bring it to the team today for on defense. Go ahead, Rob.
Gentlemen, what I think needs to happen today is Detroit was 25th against the pass last year. They were also 26th against the run. So Sirianni is going to mix it up a little bit, keep them off balance, keep them off kilter. I think Miles Sanders has a big game today. I think he learned something from last year. They're going to have to be running the football 60 to 65% of the time today to keep them off balance to set up the play action pass.
I think so, right? You're probably right on behalf. I believe so. I know we lost Matt Rogers. Hopefully we'll get him back. I know he got to take off, but we'll see if Matt is joining us here later on. Tom, it's always good to see you out here again. For everyone who's in the local area in Tampa, by the way, we are live here at 9316 Emerson Road, and it's Fuji's finding out that it is a hot trip in the jump. Because did you not fly over Tampa? Did you not? Now, you've been down here, right? And as I told you, it's a hop, skip, and a jump here from the airport. You flew over to his joke. So now you being down here, when I say it all the time live on air, now you know it's all. I was pretty much knows because he's here all the time down here in Southwest. But now you come in obviously late yesterday. Fortunately, you were delayed by just because of weather-related conditions. But if the Eagles were here, let's say the first game's against the Bucks. So you know we're playing Detroit. Unfortunately, you weren't here for the playoff party. Rick wasn't. He was here with us for the playoff party. The atmosphere, if the Eagles take on the Bucks, do you believe it would be a completely different atmosphere than taking on Detroit? Because we know that Detroit, obviously, they're going to try and bring it. Quarterback last year didn't do too well. Obviously, the team itself, not the expectations they wanted for themselves, but just to put the Lions on punch for a second, wouldn't we be looking at two different crowds compared to if the Eagles played the Bucks here today in Tampa?
It's supposed to be all week. cares about the muscle. Instead, you got buck stuff all over. Nobody cares. It's not the Philly flavor. It's not the heart. It's not the passion of the Eagles, man. It's all down here. It came from
We bleed green, baby.
That's what most people answer. Then you got to feel, right? So take it through here now. Now being Detroit, obviously, you know the Eagles have landed yesterday. If you look at a lot of the videos, a lot of it happened this week, and I'm going to try and bring one up and hopefully working here. If you look at the stuff that happens throughout the week, obviously Nick talked a lot about the team, talked about special teams. Son Reddick was really interesting, but special teams has to do. There was a lot of on the defensive side that they probably wouldn't ask questions before. And again, this team is gel. Also, the laughter and banner they have back and forth as they were trying to get the hype video going for this week. Who was it? Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts were supposed to shake hands, stare at each other, and look in the distance as they didn't financial field. If you go back and you look, a lot of times they end up laughing about it because it was hard for them to be serious. But it goes to show you how much, in my own opinion, I think how much the Eagles are more relaxed. And for me, and I'm not saying that in a bad way, but you need to be going into like that mindset and then getting the game ready here as you're going to Detroit. So seeing everything that we've seen so far this week, what we saw during preseason, starting off right at the gate, what do you expect? And let's go on the defensive side. Let's say the Eagles lose the 24. Yeah.
Like I say, it's going to come down to sacks and turnovers. Not just the way, but Jonathan Gannon has all these weapons. There's no reason for him to blitz Reddick. I mean, like I said, Eagles were second and third. Release him out in sacks last year. Now, Goff will be a deer in headlights if you knock him around. Just send the house. Just, you know, you got probably one of the best cornerback hands with Bradbury and big play Sled. You know him going back to Detroit. He wants to send a message to the Lions. On these, Brandon Graham's coming back. He's fired. Big Fletcher. Jordan Davis, rookie year. Kobe D. Stick Nazir White on what's
Hutchinson.
They got the best four linebackers on this team in a long time, probably since the Super Bowl. You know, the Eagles never valued the linebackers. So Howie went out and did what he had to do. So you put St. Brown on big play slate. I mean, there's no reason that front seven shouldn't get in God's reach.
And look at
bring the house.
That's what we said we were hoping for. Again, we'll see. Last year, I think there was obviously adjustments that needed to be made from last year to this year. We've seen what, and as much as we like to team Harry Rosen, I think we can. It's been a long time. I can say. Now, the one thing I will say when it comes to Harry Rosen, right, that I think it's one of those years that you can finally say that he has sweat. And it's a lot of confidence. You take a look at how he's done in the past, right? Then you had Chip Kelly, which everybody remembers, he locked up in the basement, he was able to do what he did. This year, given what he had, and it wasn't much, but once again, how he works his magic. Even picks up a running back, but obviously got put on waivers, you pick him up. So if you had to give Howard at this point a grade, before the game even starts, with the defense, everything he's done, and we know he's your best friend. What would you give Howie a grade right now?
Plus. I mean, I read the guy knock him. I mean, he went out, stepped up, he just brought in C.J. Johnson from two hot low picks. I mean, you got to hand it to him. Brought James Bradbury in on a $10 million deal. Drafted Jordan Davis, number one. Traded the first and the third for A.J. Brown. And one more thing to ask him. He's brought it, right? And this team's probably on. I mean, everybody's gone through the Eagles on paper. This team looks like a real team that can contend definitely in the NFC. The way the Rams looked the other night, Buffalo made them look suspect. That team, Buffalo just hit the Rams in the mouth, which that probably just betters the chances for the Eagles in the NFC.
Pretty much exposed them too.
Look on paper, they got to go out and execute and kick ass. Like I said, you got to play 4 quarters of smart football. Right? No dilly dally, no giving up the sack on that line. I mean, Eagles probably got 2 of the better offensive and defensive lines in football right now. If not, maybe one of the best front sevens in that secondary stack. There's no reason this team shouldn't win 11 or 12.
They should win. That's a big thing. And I think that we talk about, well, it's a different stage if we talk about when it comes to right now, the Eagles should be looking at about an 11-team win. I know some people at far stretch say 12 games. 12 games to me is far stretch. We know that the Redskins, no offense, I mean, it's stupid ECU, whatever you want to call them at this point, which I can't stand because Ron Rivera's in a complete mess down there. Carson Wentz is not going to get the job done. I don't care who says what. Carson is not getting the job done in D.C. Everybody knows it. It's going to be like another mess that we had over in Indy. So you look at the Commanders at this point. The Commanders are not going to run away with the division. Giants are rebuilding. So Dallas picks up Jason Peters, and they think that's going to be the only additional key that they would need in order to have a breakout year. So the only ones truthfully setting their way would be the Cowboys. Again, barring any kind of injuries, they could do the 11 wins. 12 wins would mean that if you steal a game that it probably weren't supposed to win. This is one of those games early on in the season, game one, that they should win. But Detroit, to me, is one of those that, once again, that we've seen other teams that land in the basement come right out of the gate. I mean, everybody picked the Rams to win because of what? They won the Super Bowl. And those weren't supposed to do it. The Bills were supposed to be there last year. They didn't. They came up short. So for me, I would love to see the 11 wins. I believe, if anything, 10 wins, right. So for me, the max that I see is 10 wins. If Ryan Knight and Sean maybe mentioned it well here, Ryan's what do you believe as far as when it comes to Eagles? We know that you're not obviously a diehard Eagles. But what do you believe the Eagles end up doing here as far as win-losses this season?
Sorry, Angel, just a little hard to hear you again with all the background music. Go ahead, Sean.
If anything, back to what Angel and Fuge said, I see us going 11 wins. And with this defense, man, we just have so much heavy rotation. The secondary is an upgrade. You know, I think also with the secondary, we're just going to punch people in the mouth, man, with Bradbury, Slay, Gardner Johnson. You know, I'm ready for today. Go ahead, Rod.
Here's the thing. I see maybe 10, 11 wins for the Eagles. We talk about Harry Roseman and giving him an A or an A+ for the draft. Look, it looks good on paper, but you still have to produce.
True. Couldn't agree more.
And me after the 8th or 9th week of the season, then talk to me about where teams are going to be headed. Just because the Rams lost to the Bills the other night, let's pump the brakes on that a little bit. It's only the first game of the year. We'll have to see how Sirianni utilizes everything. I think the defense is much improved. But again, like we've talked in the past, and like Fuji and I have talked about, the Eagles need to stay committed to the run this year. If they get away from the run like they did last year, they're going to find themselves in trouble. Just let the playmakers make plays, let your defense take over games, and the Eagles will be fine.
And also, you need an injury-free season, too.
Right, we say about stepping in the run. I mean, the weapons of Jalen Hurts has A.J. Brown, Dale Scott, Devontae Smith, Zach Taylor, Wes Lock. I mean, you're talking with A.J., 3 potential guys that could have a down some more teams. As far as A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dale Scott. There's one ball to go around, and Hurts has all the weapons. I'm not even counting anymore. Russell Scott, Miles Sanders, and Trey Songz.
Well, how balanced
game well. Yeah.
Does Sirianni want this offense?
True.
James Stockton's going to play this year. Sirianni's not. The reason that running game turned around last year was Sirianni turned the play ball over to Sean Stockton when they went on that run. When they were number one running offense in the second half of the league. If anybody knew that.
And like I've said before, how balanced does Sirianni want to be this year? From the run, I think he's going to stay committed this year. And with the receivers they have now, I think you're going to see a more well-rounded, balanced offense out of Sirianni.
As you should, but my question is, and Miles Sanders stay healthy. It's only last year was contract. I just don't think the Eagles are committed to it. It's, the running back that position never gets big. Olsen Scott, Dallas Olsen, you can only run him so much. You got to get game down. Like I say, Trey Sermon as a power back taking over from Jordan Howard.
Well, it'll be running back by
I think
committee
once
this year.
As it should be. Plus flags all around.
Go ahead, Sean.
I keep seeing this come up. Do you think the Eagles are overrated? I don't see it.
I would have been like, what?
I don't think they're overrated. I just think there's uncertainty on how Sirianni is going to implement the offensive weapons like he has now.
True. I totally agree. You got to get the guys more involved. Dallas Goedert, the wide receivers, just like Fuji and you said, they have a plethora of wide receivers. You got to share the love and spread that ball out. Hands down. Enough said.
There's no reason this team should put up 40 points a week. No excuse.
Absolutely.
And
Both sides of the ball are stacked.
like we've talked in the past, is Jalen Hurts going to make that next step to that next level? He's got the weapons now. Now this is his team now. This is his team. So we'll see how he performs. You'll know after the first 4 or 5 weeks where they're going to find themselves offensively.
Here's the deal, though, right?
Oh, absolutely.
What's going to
Couldn't
happen
agree
now,
more.
unfortunately, you're going to have a lot of people that, and we heard it. We've already heard from some markets. First, it was all about Jalen Hurts. All week long, they talk about how the Eagles are going to do things, how the Eagles are going to end up doing things, and how they were going to get things done. Now, as much as everybody's talking about Jalen Hurts, unfortunately, at this
There were
point,
several of these kids that they are for the raffle prizes. Anybody got one? No. Anybody would like to attend, please come and see me. Thank you.
As far as you said, just to piggyback on what you said, Ryan, after 4 or 5 weeks, you want to see where this team stands at. It's going to run the table in the NFC. Week 6, Dallas comes to the Lincoln. The showdown will be on big deep from the field. We're going to be all two-step rocking that. I'm already going to do it. The Eagles got a fairly easy schedule these first couple of games. But I think, honestly, Washington could make some moves. If Carson Wentz, people can down him, whatever, they have some decent numbers with the coach. Scott McCord, it's got Antonio Gibson, and it's got Brian Robinson. Hopefully, he'll recover some of the high talent running back. So, don't count Washington out this year. I mean, they got Chase Young coming back off that injury. The defense not there. Don't count him out as a coach. The Giants, who the hell knows? Is Saquon Barkley? I think Saquon Barkley's done. I'd stay away from him. I think the Eagles, Dallas, and then Washington in this division.
Angel, I'll say this. These are the teams that the Eagles are playing today, like the Lions. These are the teams that they need to beat. Not just by a little bit. They need to handle teams like this. I think they'll have a successful season if that's the case, but you can't open up the gate struggling with the Detroit Lions.
No, you're absolutely right, Ryan. These are the games that they're supposed to win. Once again, if the defense doesn't show up today, we'll see. We're worried about, I would say, at least some 50 minutes or so before the kickoff. And we're going to see if the defense is going to step up today. If they don't, now, again, like we all know this, come tomorrow, if the Eagles don't win, and I said it before, and I still feel that the Lions stand basically put the birds in their place today. And again, only because, and everybody's got to understand this, is that we didn't have the opportunity during the preseason, as I was telling Fuji yesterday, we were discussing last time we were down in downtown Tampa. One thing I mentioned is that the first team didn't play in the preseason. So this is actually their last preseason game in the first half. If you really take a look at it, because the whole O-line was not together. Let's remember that obviously Jason Kelsey was getting his elbow prepared for the most part. So when we think about it right now, yeah, there's a lot of things that could go wrong, but we're hoping that the defense actually steps up. Now, Brian, on the flip side would be if the defense steps up, but we have a slow start for the offense, which could be just the running game, it could be the passing game. Who knows? There's a lot of variables going on here, but yeah, Detroit should be a game that should be a must win. It's the lower, at least the team's going back from next season, because obviously everybody right now, right, they're perfect. Oh no. So right now, when you look at it, you go back last year and you look at Detroit, yes, this is a team that they should walk over. But I'm quite sure Detroit's got to try to do something. It's not Bruce Staley being over there. It's just going to be something different than the MC from Detroit now. It could be just be going smoke here. Who knows? We won't know because on any given Sunday, anything can happen. Again, as we saw on Thursday, and Ryan, you had mentioned momentarily, so it's going to keep the Rams and slow down until game one. That Super Bowl jinx that everybody goes through every single season. To me, and I know it was only game one when it comes to Rams, but I also said at the end of last year, by the time the Super Bowl was done, I don't believe that the Rams will be back there again. They'll be in the playoffs, but to keep back to that game, this is what's going to happen. So I hope that this defense comes out strong in the very beginning of the season, and we'll see whether it's going to come or not. So when the time comes, we'll see. I mean, the minutes basically just less than 50 minutes away. So I just hope that that's the way we're going to see for the one thing that I would show, and I might show now since we have Mike here talking about that. If those didn't see Fuji fired up, and no, I don't have a trick one here. No, but I'm saying, right, you thought yesterday I was going to do something in the process to mess around with you. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to bring it because you already came with the hype. So what I want to show to everybody, why not?
I just switched my mic. Yeah, but with the noise, it's like trying to translate your time.
I know. Unfortunately, because they got the music cranked up a little too high in here. Usually it's not as high, but today it's only restored. But I want to bring this video up because, again, you already got hyped from the very beginning. So I want to show this to everybody just to bring you even more hype than you are at this point. So I hope that this will actually go as and transition this over.
When you play in the city of Philly, it's always big expectations, you know.
Fans out here are really passionate about this team, the players, and this game, man. They hold guys to a standard.
It's a great buzz rolling around here. It's always go.
You gotta have a hard shell to be here.
You know, this city, they want you to win.
We're gonna prove to you that we're the best.
It starts here each and every day. It starts in the weight room, the film room.
We approach the day like every rep is the most important rep of our life. We have some great leaders on this team. We have some great personalities.
Out here about to whoop some ass.
The only people that really understand what you go through is the people you play next to.
It's just really exciting to see the young guys grow.
We do got some dogs back there.
Let's go! Come on, push!
The word for me has been consistency.
Line it up, do it again.
It takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
Don't take nothing for granted.
We all here for one goal, and that's to win.
Philadelphia Eagles, they always been tough.
Heart and toughness, that's everything Philadelphia is made of.
That's the dog mentality right there. When that cage opens up, our teeth are snarling, we're drooling, we're hungry and ready to hunt. That's what a team does. Now turn that music up, let's go.
I'm out here trying to whoop their ass every day.
As he smacks down. He fires. Touchdown, Goddard.
I should say I'm not gonna hold back.
Hell yeah.
I feel like I'm a weapon of mass destruction.
You're gonna tell your story to them.
Touchdown, Lane Johnson. He fires.
It's not about who's the toughest. It's about who's the toughest the longest. You can't do that, dumbass.
Great fake. In for the touchdown.
That's my QB. Don't stop, keep going.
That's how you make a play.
Let's go. We don't even care because we're going to be dogs at this. Unfreaking believable. You're a whole different breed.
Come on.
1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1 The only direction is to rise.
Kick off the season here, and then not even I do it from my house in Tampa, like a studio on top. Here I try to do as much as possible.
I got the Eagles lines and Yankees.
Because you get a lot more noise.
Of course, then you can home, yeah.
So we do a podcast here, but we do a podcast here for the bird. We're heard in 40 states, we're heard overseas. So everybody tunes in.
So are you streaming the game, or are you talking about the game while it's happening? What are you guys doing?
We talk about the game before the game actually starts.
Okay.
So
We'll let you know then.
There it is. Not going
Yeah.
live.
Oh, so on to camera right now. Oh.
And so I got the Eagles lines and Yankees.
Well, listen.
Yeah, okay.
Number one, let me bring the guys back up here. Give me a second here, because I know I had a tremendous rush. Give me a second.
Yeah.
It was supposed to come on here. There we go. So we get everybody back here.
I'm an RVM living on top of the country.
All right, here we go. So I was explaining something. So sorry to pause there for a second. I was explaining. Someone, as far as what we do here at Tampa Joe, on the hype video, everybody saw. Tuesday, unfortunately, you didn't get to see too much of the hype video. But it's okay. We're in the pattern here. So hopefully, Fuji, I know you can hear me a little better and Ryan, you guys out there. But it's with bringing the hype and everything else that we say, with this game, which I was hoping you were going to freaking losing your mind, but unfortunately, you're not losing your mind. But we know, listen, everybody's been waiting for this moment. Everybody's been dying to see exactly what's going to happen. In less than 45 minutes, we're going to find out what this team's all about. Jonathan Gannon talked about his defense and how much he's worked with in this season. Now, we know that Jason Peters went down to Dallas. If Dallas believes that's all they needed to win their division, they're sadly mistaken. Because that running back, it's an absolute joke. That went to Mexico and did all this training and everything else. He wanted to get paid. Ever since he got paid, what happened? He's done absolutely nothing at this point. So we're going to see what Jonathan Gannon's defense is going to be all about. Don't forget, a lot of people have also been saying with Jonathan Gannon is that he might be vying for a head coach position depending on what's going to happen this NFL season. So if anything, he's got a lot to prove himself along with special teams coordinator and everybody. But Nick Sirianni, I think has a lot more confidence coming in this year than he did obviously last year in his first season. We know also that our former Super Bowl head coach, right, makes his debut as well in the NFL. And so people want to say, well, what's going to happen with WP? Well, it doesn't matter what happens with WP. When it comes to us, it doesn't matter what happens. We want to see what Nick Sirianni has in store. We want to see how much of the run this offense is showing. I could be wrong. We want to see exactly what's going to happen because we saw during the season, or again during the preseason, sorry, they were trying to run a balance attack against the RPO. And again, unfortunately, Mike is talking over, so it's kind of hard for me to get in this on the other side here. But when it comes down to it, Sean, and if you can continue this as well, how heavy are we going to see this run game today? And the run game.
If you want to as well, you can order off the menu. Buffet for the $30 is for the entire length of the game. Alcohol must be removed from your
No.
Thank you.
Yeah. I hear Angel, and then once the guy behind you guys starts talking, I can't hear nothing.
Yeah, because unfortunately he cuts it
But
off.
just back to Angel's point with Jonathan Gannon, I think with the defense, I think we just got to play solid D, and just go right after Detroit. It's not going to be a give-y game. You got to take every game serious, not lightly. And first and foremost, I just want to see Jalen Hurts do well, prove all the naysayers wrong. He got the weapons, and it's his time to shine. Just like Ryan said, it's his team, and just bring it. Your thoughts?
Really, what I think they should do defensively, I think they should play Fletcher Cox and Jordan I'm forgetting his name already. Is it Jordan? What's his name, Fuji?
Jordan Davis.
Yeah, they should play both of them. Jordan Davis, I mean, yeah. Look, the Eagles don't have to get creative defensively. just play your straight up defense. Let the corners do their job, but let Cox and Davis take up space to free up the linebackers to do their damage. So I just don't think that they need to get creative on defense. I just think they need to play their base defense and let the chips fall where they may. Look, Detroit's receivers don't scare anybody. Their offense doesn't scare anybody. You don't have to blitz. You don't have to do this. Just play your straight up defense and let everybody do their job.
If you get in Goff's face, you're just going to punch him in the mouth.
As far as
yeah, Fuge.
As far as special teams, I believe
yes.
Hey, we all wanted him to make the team. It was great good season. So he's getting the shot at the NFL. Good luck to him. Hopefully, we'll have a nice season with the Eagles. Welcome to it. As far as Eagles, Lions, and actors, Eagles, you got Lee Blankenship, quarterback, Ian Book, tight end, Dale Terry, defensive end, Tyron Jackson, running back, Trey Sermon. Guard Josh Sills will be out for the Lions. And actors, you got guard Tommy Kramer, quarterback, Chase Lucas, tight end, James Spencer, linebacker, for Warren. Defensive lineman. Guys, it's not showing me as special teams with the Hogan being that
active. Really, what I think needs to happen, guys and Angel, is really, if the Eagles don't turn the ball over today, they should have no problem winning. They are the much better team. I know people are hopping on the Lions and this, that, and the other thing, but as long as the Eagles don't turn it over, maybe create a turnover or two, there is no way in hell that they're going to lose this football game today.
Absolutely, I totally agree with Ryan. The defense got to go after him, punch him in the mouth. Jalen has to play stout offense, man. He has the weapons, like I said earlier. And I see Eagles come out with a win, 31-14.
I switched mics here, so I'm going to – can everybody hear me? I'm going to make sure I can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So hopefully this kind of drown out Mike from constantly talking about the VA system here. But listen, again, what I want to see is I don't want to see as much of the fast start. Let me put it that way. Because the problem is if you come out too much with a fast start, we know how the second half ends up working out for you. And that's whether Nick was here and he was here. Too much of a fast start, a lot of times, not too much of a good thing. So what I want to see again is there's got to be a lot of balance. More than anything else that we've seen so far, it's got to be well balanced. And if it's not well balanced, we're going to see a big problem happen. So I'm just hoping more than anything else. Matter of fact, let me take it back one more. I want to see the special teams actually do what the special teams were allowed to do, because we've seen before the special teams has not been. They didn't do so well, obviously, during preseason. They didn't do so well last year, which gave up a huge amount of yards once they break the ball off. So what I want to see a lot more this year is what the special teams have. Especially, and again, I know everybody was the first year. We had new coaches, new scheme. I see what we didn't see during the preseason as far as what we should be seeing now. So what I'm hoping for is for the special teams to definitely step up today. Now, as far as when it comes to running back, and Fuji, you hit on it earlier, as far as when it comes to Boston Scott, do we want to see Miles Sanders get an additional contract? Of course we do. We hope he's going to be a long-time Eagle. But again, there's going to be a lot of proving what's going on. We have our newest addition that he's going to be fighting for a contract as well. So you're talking about two different running backs at this point. They're going to be looking for a contract at the end of the season. As far as wide receivers, the only thing I would like to see is when we saw Gardner Minshew on display, I want to see how much, maybe how we put him out there. If the Eagles need something before the trade deadline, whether it be another wide receiver or a trade that can end up happening prior to it, I want to see what they end up doing because, again, there's a lot of unanswered questions that we've yet to see. We're almost nearly a half hour away from seeing what this team is going to end up doing. So I just want to see, and Sean was saying that I want to see special teams more international. Offense I can deal with. The front line, Jesse Kelsey said he's felt the best he's ever had in a while. And finally, that elbow, getting surgery, he was waiting for the longest. Finally getting that elbow repaired, ended up doing really well for him. And he'll continue that game streak that he's been having all this time. But I want to see even what Jordan Davis has with his defense. So, I mean, I'm as much as I might have seen that I'm thrilled or pumped up as crazy as you like to get. But for me, I just want to see the difference between year 1 to year 2. And the only way that's going to happen is if our defensive coordinator actually did his job this past season. And that's by doing a film from last year and just doing everything that he knows that he should be a sort of finished player. So that's what my excitement. Let's see what special teams, more importantly, are going to do today.
Let's go back to what Ryan was saying. Eagles do need to beat teams like the Lions. There's no reason that they shouldn't be. All right, the Lions went 3-3 down the stretch in the last 6. Pumping their chest high with all those smart knocks. Dan Campbell, Ron Rostoff, old school, Snap, whatever cliche you want to call them. No. As I said for the third time, I don't want to keep confusing myself. You got to come out and play 4 quarters of consistent, smart football. Don't turn the ball over. Get Goff, because Goff's not even that good of a quarterback. I mean, he's obviously not the quarterback of this offense. He's just a game manager right now. I think the Lions could be a team that's on the rise. Who knows? You see this season, it's all on Jalen Hurts. And what it's Jalen Hurts on the offensive side of football, and what Jonathan Gannon can do with all these guys he has, all these toys to play with. So,
listen, and that's what I'm hoping for.
That is the 2022 thing in the season. It looks great on paper. Everybody's coming for the Eagles. All the analysts love the Eagles. Go out and execute and kick ass.
It's a big thing, but you got to think about it, right? And Brian, as Brian here, and his correspondent, you think about it, Jared Goff, the way he was traded away from the Rams to Detroit, and Brian called me crazy, but Jared is going to, if anything, he wants to prove to everyone that he was supposed to be that Super Bowl winning quarterback with the Rams. So that's why, to me, this feeling when we were Jared Goff today, that's my only biggest worry. Even though I know people might say that either I'm crazy or nuts or something else, but Jared Goff has a lot to prove, not only as far as the Detroit fan base, to himself, because that shot that he got. And then for Matt Stafford, and you got to think about it, if the Detroit faithful believed in Matt Stafford that long, and they were missing key element pieces, which obviously it showed when he went to the Rams, you got to think about as far as what he missed out on. Now, Matthew Stafford, of course, goes to LA, ends up winning the Super Bowl, first year out there with LA. But for Jared Goff, he's got a lot more to prove. So, Brian, how important, just for Jared, for the future from Detroit, and let's just say he decides not to stay in Detroit, because I don't know, Detroit has done plenty of things in the past. How important is for Jared Goff to go out and let's say even to put 3 in the air, 3 touchdowns in the air? How important is it for him this season in Detroit?
Well, I don't. Jared Goff has nobody to throw the ball to, Angel. I get your point about him having like something to prove, but this is the wrong team to do it on. They're just not a good football. People want to keep talking about Dan Quinn or whatever Dan they got as their head coach. It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter in this particular instance.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm looking for today. The Philadelphia Eagles, Detroit Lions. What's going to take place in the trenches? Is Philadelphia going to get pushed around, or are they going to beat the hell out of them because that's what they're supposed to do against an inferior team like the Lions? So I'm really interested to see how Jalen Hurts is going to handle the defense of the Lions from the standpoint of the Lions are going to throw the kitchen sink down. They're just not going to let Hurts sit back there and do what he does well. They're just not going to do it. So as far as Jared Goff goes, he was a decent quarterback at one time. The Rams got rid of him for a reason. He's now in Detroit, but he just doesn't have the pieces around. People can talk about Hawkinson and DeAndre Swift, and those are the only two guys that the Lions have. So this is what I'm looking for today. I fully expect the Philadelphia Eagles to beat the hell out of the Lions in the trenches today. That's what I'm expecting.
Well, again, we'll see when again, on the defensive side. It's here on the defensive side. We know the big play right here. He's loved here in Philly. I think he's embraced it. Obviously, coming from Detroit, he's embraced it here. He knows how hard it is. He knows the town that Philadelphia is and the hard-nosed football they play. He knows the diehard fans. And the one thing that people don't understand is just because, and you know this as well, just because we might be probably the craziest fans out there, but we also know our team. We also know our players. We know what happens. So we know that we've seen it before when people say, well, maybe Howie should have listened to us. They should listen to the fan base. But if you do, you can learn something. And I think obviously that's what Howie did. But more importantly, Sirianni talks about how much Slay needs his team. So I'm going to bring up a video here just to give you kind of a graph of what he thinks with Darius Slay.
Yeah, he's just got a great energy about him. He comes in every day ready to work, and that's important, that energy that you bring every day, because not every day you're going to want. There's going to be days that I come in here, I'm like, and you got to come in, you got to get ready to go, and he brings it, and that's contagious. Like, I really believe that when you bring energy constantly every day, and that's just who you are, that's contagious.
I think to pick up on the point with Fuji, with Darius Slay, he just has to play a good. I think with Darius Slay, he just has to contain whatever wide receivers he's got on, and just play a tight defense. And just like Ryan said, you got to contain Hutchinson. He don't scare me. Swift don't scare me. And also St. Brown. So. I mean, just got to play smart football, punch them in the mouth, and, the rest is ours.
You're saying about T.J. Hawkinson, I think they'll put Chauncey Warner Johnson on him more so than Devontae Adams. Warner Johnson's probably the best nickel in the game last year. Devontae Adams had a little problem last year with tight ends. So if he's limited and narrow as far as plays, and as far as DeAndre Swift, so you're Floyd on him, you're one. It's going to help him pick up for a 1-year deal.
Absolutely.
Preseason. TJ Edwards had a great camp, they said. Sean Reddick, great pickup, 23.5 sacks the last 2 years. There's no reason this defense should not flourish this year. I mean, Haley hit on all angles, on all points. I give him, like I said, at the beginning of the show, I'll give the man an A+.
Well deserved. When you look at it, it is well deserved as far as what he did. So, we're going to see it. The group's going to be occurring here in a couple seconds, but now everybody, to kind of slow things down here just a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. Yesterday, and this is just a comparison we're about to show here next. Yesterday, you asked my producer Debbie, "What do I have a Philly accent?" And she gave you a response, right? I didn't bring it because it's coincidence as you say that. No, because here's the thing, right? As we talk about the Philly accents, the players were also asked, who has the best Philly accent? So I want to bring this up so everybody can see it.
Hey, yo, can you go holler at the bowl over there? The bowl, young bowl.
Hey, you want some water?
No, I want that John.
You want some water?
Got that John?
John? Going to the Wawa.
I gotta go tap Mac. Hey, see young boy right there? Hey,
y'all my young boys.
Nah, chill out. You got some John? See that? Hey.
No.
That's my real young boy right there. I don't know that John. That boy John. How you say it? That boy John.
What up, champ? That's you, John, dog. John. What's up, champ? Come on, man. That's Philly accent.
Obviously, that got seen on.
Man, I think it's
supposed to be intense.
it wasn't. It didn't come on live, so now the video just came back live. So now you talk about the rest of the actions, right? Because the point of this is supposed to be is obviously what we're seeing is a team that has finally gelled together. That's something that we haven't seen in the last 2 seasons. Even when Dougie was here, why? Because Doug wanted to take full control. But what happened? I always said you can't have full control. I'm the big guy. So now we'll see what Doug does in Jacksonville because he does have full control down there. So when you see what's going to happen down there, but the reason why I brought that up is because these guys are actually, they are brothers in arms, whichever way you want to see it, whichever way you want to look at it. And I think that's the most important thing that we can take going into week 1 is that we're going to see, regardless of whatever the Philly actions are, the big things we're going to end up seeing here is how these guys are all going to gel together and the proof that's going to be here within the field. And I know it shows that the Eagles are supposed to win 27-22, according to what Rick has pointed out here momentarily. But again, we're going to see what's going to happen. I think everybody's really excited. Everybody's pumped. I know you're tuning in to WIP, Hero Moral Reese, and obviously Mike thinks the same on that behalf. But listen, I can't wait to see what's going to happen. So I know you started on a super high, right? So as we're coming here to a close to the end of the show, Lane Johnson decided to put a little thing together for you here to maybe get you fired up at the very end. So I got one here from Lane Johnson just for you.
Go Birds.
You go get my Bluetooth speaker and put it out there. Yeah, have you guys. Trying to at least. So now, where Ryan? Oh, I got to bring Ryan back. Give me a second, Ryan. But anyways, as you guys can see, I was with Lane Johnson there. Ryan, I didn't forget about you. I got to bring you back up here. But Lane Johnson, how about that for some musical talent? Huh? It's just not good. Am I? Hello, is this on?
I got that goes to my ear. I'm trying to hear you.
I said, how about the talent with Lane Johnson? What he did there, playing Fly Eagles Fly, obviously on your
Very talented. Very talented. Second and on. Big number 65 from Oklahoma. Number 1 pick, 2013. Big Lane Johnson. Left tackle. Right tackle. My friend. I'm not awesome. I ain't no sleeping in that one. Lane, kick dance.
Try and get Brian back up here before we end up in the show. So Brian, give me a second. I know you can hear me backstage, but here we go.
An underdog's a hungry dog.
Get Ryan back.
Hungry dogs run faster.
That they definitely do. And Ryan, you should be there. Ryan, he's back in the mix here. So, Ryan, what did you think there about Lane Johnson's talent?
About his what now? What did he say, Fuji?
So what you think of Lane Johnson?
He said, what do you think about his talent?
Eagles fly.
Lane Johnson's talent?
What his talent is. How was it?
Am I missing something here?
No comment.
It was special. He used to drink those beers, though.
No comment.
We got a couple minutes before we sign off here. Ryan, speaking of, what do you believe that you're
on a second. Oh, yeah.
What do you think as far as what's going to happen with the Kansas City Chiefs are, Ryan?
I'm still having a hard time hearing you with all the noise in the background.
That's fine.
Sean, what's your take? Well,
my take is today, the Eagles bring 31-14. Go Birds.
You asking me for my prediction?
Ryan, I was trying to ask you before the prediction, what do you believe your Kansas City Chiefs are going to do this season?
Too many teams have caught up with them. Like I said before, I think they'll make a playoff push. They're not going to win the division this year. The Chargers are going to win the division. I think Kansas City makes it to a wild card. They might win in the wild card round, but they're not making the AFC Championship game this year, and they're not making the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, right? Because Fuji had mentioned earlier on that he believes also that San Diego's a sleeper pick and no one picked it.
I think the Chargers are going to make a loud noise and nobody's talking. They went out back to Lil Mac, J.C. Johnson from the Winter, C.J. Johnson, Justin Hubbard, Keenan Allen, Wilson Eckler, Blake Williams. Got a hell of a team. And I think the AFC West is the best division. You're going to see a lot of barn burners out there, especially Derek Carr with Devontae Adams, Russell Wilson, KC, Justin Herbert. Hey, bet the overs on all those West. There'll be a lot of fighting out there. A lot of 40, 45, 42 games, whatever. Take 40.
Okay. Hopefully everybody heard that because we went on a little crazy.
Sorry, I have to be.
Listen, all I want is for everyone to enjoy the game today. Obviously, if you're down here in the Tampa area, make sure you stop by 9316 Anderson Road. As you guys can see, the house is getting filled here with the we did have one Dallas Cowboys sighting, I should say, as he walked through. I guess now because, again, right, Jason Peters being in Dallas, I guess I don't see them. Like to hear that
he's been on a plane for 6 hours and derailed to Orlando and back.
Hopefully everybody can hear that one as well. But listen, guys, I'd like to thank everybody who tuned in today. We do appreciate it. We're signing off here. I want everyone to enjoy today's vote. And let's hope by the half, at least it's a close one to bring. We hope that the Eagles continue to do well. That the Eagles continue to do well. And also, let's not forget that today is also a day of remembrance. Let us never forget about 9/11 because it's one of those important parts in history. And even if one particular person that's in a particular house doesn't acknowledge it, never forget what happened on 9/11. You cannot forget all the people that made the sacrifices and did what they had to do to continue to protect our country. And never forget the men and women, whether they're in law enforcement, whether they're in the military, and whether medics. Never forget what they do. And when you see them always thank them because they have the most stressful job in America. Probably one of those jobs a lot of people don't want to have anymore. So don't ever forget 9/11. That is the most important date in our country's history, more than anything else. But with that being said, please take your own time to reflect on what happened. And if you weren't around, you were just born a couple of years ago, mom and dad can explain to you exactly what's going on. Key word I said was mom and dad can explain to you what's happening in our society. So we hope everyone enjoys today's matchup. We thank Fuji for coming down here to Tampa. Obviously, for my lovely producer here to my right, that you guys can't see off camera. For Rick Marcus to make sure that he got Fuji here on time. I expect we appreciate the job that he ended up doing. And obviously, for Michelle Jackson, it's early. We still got people coming in, but we thank everyone for tuning in. And that Fuji, would you like to get in the last words? Number! And that's the last words. Listen, enjoy the game. We will see everybody come next week.